Hey Gemini, what's up gang? Hope everybody is well. We're gonna go ahead and do what door is opening for you next. So if that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box. That will have all the information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe, so go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into this. For those that are new, this reading is basically, there's a deck called the Energy Oracle cards, and in this deck, there are doors. We have the door to value, we have the door to spirit, the door to personal healing and happiness, and then we have the door to romance. And I also added the garden and the gates and the temple path. And basically we kind of like blind shuffle and pull a card and see what door we're going to be going through. I added the temple path because sometimes it's less of a door and it's more of a spiritual path that you're on. I also added the garden and the gate because sometimes it doesn't matter what door opens. If you're not ready to go through it or there's a blockage, it's not going to matter, so we need to look at that, okay? So depending on what cards I pull next is going to depend on what door comes out, okay? Because I don't know. We also have the wave for the intuitive message, and we don't get this card very often, but this could be whatever this door is. It's going to pack a punch, or it's going to kind of hit very hard. Not in a bad way. It doesn't have to be in a bad way, but it's like you're going to feel this intensely is kind of the energy that I'm getting with this wave. This could also be that maybe the circumstances or the situation comes in waves, right? You get hit with one thing and then another thing happens, another thing. And I can already feel some of you guys clenching up because you're unfortunately used to not so great things happening. So when we hear getting hit with one thing after another, we don't normally think of positive things, right? But we will see, gang. I got you, okay? So let's go ahead and blind shuffle and see what door we have. Okay, what door? Not looking at all. Okay, and I'm gonna try to get a card to pop out. I don't know if one will or not, so we'll just, how about we just do this, okay? We'll do a casino shuffle, as they call it. This one, the door to value. Okay, well that, I'm sure a lot of you guys are pleased to see, right? So with this door coming out and then the wave, it's making me feel like you're going to be hit with waves of success, okay? Like I feel like you're gonna see a little bit of a success or a little bit of progress here, and then you're gonna see more, and then you're gonna see more and more, and it feels like it's going to come in waves or in sections almost. This is card number 31, and so it reduces to 4. And 4, of course, talks about our stability. It talks about our foundation and what makes us feel stable in life. And so there could be something about that. I'm also getting, for some reason, health. I don't know why that's coming through, but especially heart health for some of you guys, maybe with the four chambers of the heart is making me think of health. So I do feel like this door to value is not just in regards to money, although we do see a lot of money on the card. It feels like this is a door to value overall in your life, feeling like things have more value or feeling like you have more value. Maybe some people putting more value on you or more respect on your name, right? Maybe before people weren't seeing your value or you felt like you were not being recognized for everything that you give or everything that you offer. Almost like people weren't very appreciative of what you were giving, doing, being, whatever, right? So I feel like this period, this door that's opening here is like you're going to start feeling more valuable. The work that you're putting out, you're going to start seeing more recognition come through, and you're going to start feeling like, people are valuing your work. And you might even find that your confidence is being boosted. I'm kind of getting that energy, to be honest. I feel like there is a confidence boost that's coming through here with this door, okay? Like you're feeling better about yourself, or you're feeling better about what you have to offer or what you do, right? And a lot of people will tell you that, you attract your reality, right? Like through your mindset. If you don't feel like you're good enough for certain things, or you don't feel like certain things are possible for you, you're not going to see that. And in fact, you're going to almost manifest a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So some of you guys could be working on manifestation. Maybe you're working on the law of assumption. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that one of the most recent readings, like when you assume that bad things are going to happen, more often than not, that's the reality that you're living in, right? So I'm not saying that your mind is in control of every reality in your life, because that's wildly insensitive and unfair to say that. But I will say that when we are looking for the good, we see the good, and when we're looking for the bad, we do see the bad. So I feel like there's something here where your mindset is increasing, your mindset is getting better, you're starting to feel better about yourself, and because of that, a door of value is opening. So some of you guys could have a really big opportunity that is coming your way. Okay, this opportunity could be one that you're not expecting. I mean, when we look beyond the door here, we see like a golden city is almost what it looks like, with a golden path, and there's coins everywhere, and there's flowers, and everything's blooming. So some of you guys, yes, there could be a door that's being opened for you. There could be a huge opportunity coming through, one that you're not expecting, or one that you didn't think you had a chance at. Maybe there's a position in your company that's opening up, or maybe somebody comes across your work or your resume or something like that, for sure. If you do your own business or you're freelance or something, you could land like the client of a lifetime, okay? It's giving that energy. Some of you guys could also be getting invited somewhere where there's going to be more exposure that's going to be given to you. This feels very reminiscent of a reading we did recently, which was the career one. I don't know when this is going to be released versus when that one was filmed and whatnot, but it does feel like there's something similar here going on. So there could be confirmation here that some of that is still happening for you, okay? So we're going to use the Apothecary Tarot or Oracle, guys. Let's just get some messages out here about this door to value that's opening. What does Gemini need to know about this door to value? I don't know why, but the Chinese New Year could be significant. That just is coming through, or something like that. Take it as it resonates. Dragons could be significant. Fireworks could be significant. Maybe you are about to have a new beginning or something. Maybe a door that was closed is about to open for you. You're about to be given a new chance or a new shot. What does Gemini need to know about this door to value that's opening for them? What does Gemini need to know about this door? Oh, okay. We have card number 42, which is transformation. So this was not just like, even though some of you guys, this opportunity is going to feel like it, for some people, or it's going to appear like it was just handed to you. Is almost the energy I'm getting, but it actually wasn't. You had to do a lot of work, even if this was just inner work. And I talk about this all the time for people who are on the spiritual path. It's not just, the physical, the earthly stuff that we have to go through and that we have to process. We are learning a lot of life lessons. We're healing a lot of things. We're doing a lot of spiritual work or inner healing work that actually opens up doors to success in our physical reality. Some people, it feels counterintuitive or whatever that, that would go hand in hand, but actually it does. It starts from the inside out. And so there's something here with that. I feel like some of you guys are coming out of a really brutal period. That's what they're giving me, like brutal, emotionally, mentally. You just have not been feeling your best, or you have not been seeing a lot of the progress that you wanted to see, or you've just been taking an emotional hit after emotional hit. Some of you guys have been suffering in silence here. I'm getting somebody, it's funny, but it's not funny. It's funny because of the vision that they're giving me, but they're giving me the energy of somebody who's standing there and just getting hit by wave after wave after wave. And they're just like, whatever, because it just is what it is. Like, some of us suffer in silence, or we come off as cold, callous, or like we don't care, but that's because we've been responsible for our own emotional well-being for the majority of our life. So yes, from the outside looking in, it does look like we don't care, but we actually feel a lot deep inside. And so I feel like there's been a lot of transformation that's happened for you, and this is what's helping open up this door to value. I am getting like a huge rebirth energy, which At the time of the filming of this reading, I did a daily, because I'm trying to get my dailies done a couple days in ahead. And one of them was like rebirth, talking about rebirth over and over and over. So there could be something here where, you know, you are ready for a rebirth. You've suffered some kind of death, right? Or an ending when it comes to something in your life. And now you're ready for a new beginning. You're ready for this transformation, you know? And so you are transforming. There's something about this too. It's not exactly a rainbow, but it's giving rainbow vibes. And it's making me feel like there could be hope after this dark period, or maybe even spirit promising that something's not going to go the way that it went before. Okay, we have You Are More, card number 30 on the bottom of the deck. And it's interesting because when I see mountains and hills and divination, it always makes me think of struggles and obstacles and, you know, blockages and things that we kind of have to work through or get over. And I feel like what Spirit wants you to know is that you're more than the struggles, right? You're more than the blockages. You're more than the stress and the pain and you know, the heartache and the letdown, the rejection, the things that you've suffered that maybe would have held others back, but you have wings, right? And you're able to fly beyond these boundaries. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what else we have here. What does Gemini need to know about this this door to value that's opening for them? What does Gemini need to know about this door to value, please? We have Master Manifester, card number 10. Wasn't I saying that? Yes, I was. You are a master manifester. And it's interesting too with this spider. It's like you're building a web right now, right? The spider to me is the great creator. And it creates this web. It creates a foundation for itself, a foundation that keeps it safe and catches food for it, you know? And so there could be something here where it's like you are in the midst of creating a very solid foundation for yourself. Crows and blackbirds and ravens could definitely be significant for you. You could also be seeing a lot of eyes, maybe in artwork, or maybe things that look like eyes, like, I don't know, like an oil spill or a paint spill or something, you know, like a watermark or something. I'm getting the energy of, or maybe in a cloud or something. It's like seeing eyes where you shouldn't be seeing them. Okay? But yeah, it's like what Spirit is saying is that this door to value that's opening, you have actually manifested this. Whether this has happened consciously or on the subconscious, you've manifested this door to open. So yeah, Gemini, it feels like get ready, right? Surrender to receive, and with card number 2. And I feel like that's how you have manifested something. Is that you have surrendered. It's like surrendering doesn't mean, which a lot of you already know this, but for those that are misunderstanding me, surrendering doesn't necessarily mean like giving up and saying, okay, well, I'm not going to try anymore and I'm not going to work hard anymore, right? I'm not going to put any effort in. Surrendering is surrendering to expectations, surrendering to outcomes, right? Because when we're clenching on and we're holding on to things tightly, we're trying to control a situation because we don't have faith that it's actually going to work out in our favor, right? It's a fear-led response because we fear that things are not going to work out the way that we want, or that we're going to lose something. That's the only reason to really hold on tightly to something, right? So there's an energy here of you surrendered. You know, you got me, Spirit, right? Like whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and I'm going to be protected regardless, and life is happening for me. It's not happening to me. And so I'm going to look at it that way. And this surrender has opened up the energetic gateway, it almost feels like, for Spirit to work in your life, for Spirit to bring miracles and opportunities and abundance and growth into your life. Because when we have one set mindset, it's very hard for Spirit to kind of bring the things in that it knows that would serve us, right? Because Spirit is all-knowing, right? Spirit is the creator of everything. So Spirit understands things that we don't understand, and Spirit can see things that we can't see, right? So sometimes it's like we're holding on tightly to a certain path, a person, a way of being, or whatever, right? And Spirit's like, if you would just let go, if you would just let go and allow me to work in your life, allow life to work for you, you would see that I have something even better for you, or I have a easier way, or whatever, right? So I feel like that's how you almost manifested this door to value into your life, Gemini, is by really releasing and letting go and surrendering and saying, you know, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I know that you have me. It's like the most positive release or surrender that's possible is kind of what I'm getting here, okay? That's way too many. So let's see, but it was two very, very good cards. Okay, so what do we need to know about this door to value, please, for Gemini gang? We have face your fear. Wow. Well, it's interesting because, yeah, I feel like crows and blackbirds and ravens, yes, could definitely be significant here with it showing up. It's interesting too, like, guys, like how they're facing each other. It's almost like you facing you in a sense, like, you know, I don't know. It's just giving that energy. It's like you facing you, you know, and maybe you have to get out of your own way here is something that I'm seeing. So this door to value, like most changes or progression in our lives, is not always easy, and sometimes it's scary, right? It's usually scary when we have change happen in our life and we don't have all of the answers. We don't have the outcome set in front of us. That's usually when we will get nervous because we don't know what to expect. And that's why we have to surrender sometimes and have faith, right? I feel like you might be facing your fear in regards to failure, in regards to rejection, and some of you guys even in regards to becoming a success, right? Because fear of success is actually a real thing. I've dealt with many clients, and even myself at points in my life, I've dealt with fear of success, being too successful, because then we have to step up to the plate. And then actually there's an even bigger energy of letting everybody down or failing. After we fly so high, you crash really hard, right? So it's like if I get too high, then the fall is going to be really intense. So sometimes there can be that fear of success. Also, fear of recognition, fear of being seen, because there's a big imposter syndrome. Sometimes we're like, you know, I don't know why everybody thinks I'm so great. I'm not, right? Like I'm not perfect, and I have a lot to work on, and I do this and I do that, and I make mistakes here and there and everywhere. So it's like sometimes we have to really get out of our own way and allow the success to come into our life. And I feel like for you guys, one of the things about this door is that the key to it, right, with the key on the, you know, with the door here, is to face those fears, whatever that is for you, whether it is fear of success, imposter syndrome, fear of rejection, fear of failure, whatever it is for you. It's like you need to face these fears, okay? So it's really interesting because I feel like with this face your fear card, you're being asked to almost, you know, not avoid the things that make you feel uncomfortable, not avoid the changes, or not avoid stepping out of your comfort zone. If you get offered a big opportunity that feels like it might be too much for you, or that you're not going to be able to fulfill this, or there's blockages, there's things in the way, right? With you are more back on the bottom of the deck. It's like, know that you can remove yourself from these blockages, or you have everything you need to overcome these obstacles. So yes, the door that's opening for you might invoke a little bit of fear, because I feel like it's just a little bit uncomfortable, and it's asking you to rise to the occasion, or to really step into your true potential or your true self. Maybe even step in places that you haven't been before, do things that you haven't done before, right? New territory. And so yeah, that can be a little scary, but what Spirit is saying is that when you do face your fears, you're going to see that you have the key. You have everything that you need to achieve whatever this is that's setting you up for this value, okay? Is there anything else with this deck? We're probably not going to keep it, but I just want to see. Is there anything else with this deck for Gemini for what they need to know about this door to value, Spirit? We have magnetism through gratitude, card number 31, right? So there's an energy here of, like, again, you attracting things in, and you know, that's that manifesting energy. So I feel like what Spirit wants you to know is right now you are seriously manifesting some abundant opportunities your way. And this is why we are being asked to trust the process. This is why we are being asked to face our fears and go with the flow and allow the transformation. And the more that we find gratitude in each day and each moment, the more that we'll find in our life to be grateful for. And I'm a firm believer in that there's always something to be grateful for in every day. Maybe not in every single moment, But hey, for some of you guys, you might feel that way, that yes, in every single moment, even the horrible moments, there's something to be thankful for. I like to just chalk it up to every single day. You can find something to be thankful for. I have clean water to drink. I have Wi-Fi that I can get on, right? I have oxygen that I can breathe. It can be just as simple as that. I have a loving pet, right? I have good neighbors. I have, even if I'm, living check to check, I got a check, right? It's something like, sometimes we have to search for the things to be grateful for, especially if we're going through a lot at the moment. But what Spirit is saying is that if you can focus on the good and focus on what there is to be grateful for, you will find that this actually magnetizes, like, great things to be grateful for, right? And things multiply in your life, the things that you can be grateful for. It's interesting too, because we have 3 cups on this card, and for me, the 3 of Cups talks about celebration. It talks about emotionally fulfilling situations, and feeling really emotionally fulfilled within yourself and within your emotions. So yeah, I don't know, there's something there with that, guys. Anything else? Anything else with this deck before we put it up? Anything else? We have Just Trust, card number 32. I'm noticing in this reading too, we have like a lot of 3, 2, 4s, 5s. Okay, it's like you might see that like numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 6, 7. You might see like numbers moving up, and that could be a sign that things are about to move forward. The thing I love about this card so much is that it has this little mole, and moles are so cute, right? And they have these giant claws that really help them move through the dirt. So they're equipped to move through their surroundings just naturally. And they're also, I don't know if they are completely blind or they're nearly blind, but they are able to navigate through dark spaces, right? They're able to navigate through the darkness. And I feel like you are too, Gemini. And that might not be something that, you feel too happy about, because to be able to navigate through the dark spaces, you have to be in the dark a lot. And so I feel like a lot of you guys have. But what Spirit is saying here is that this tenacity and this resilience that you have naturally built into you is what brings you a lot of your growth and what brings you a lot of your opportunities and your blessings, right? So you're not defined by the darkness that comes into your life, Gemini, but you're almost, designed to withstand it and to be stronger than it. And there is something that's sprouting here with the Just Trust, It's also interesting because this Just Trust is like just a little seedling, and those are the most fragile of plants. It's not established yet. It doesn't have an established root system. It's at the most vulnerable part of its journey, and it's really easy to snuff out this new growth, right? So that's why Spirit wants you to just trust that whatever it is that's being brought into your life, whatever this new beginning is that you have, it's going to work out, basically, right? Bottom of the deck, one of our favorite cards on this channel. I hear a lot of you guys talk about this card. Small steps, big accomplishments. Card number 8 with the turtles. And that's the energy, right? Trusting that this is going to grow, or what you've been working on, it is growing. The seeds that you've planted are not only going to sprout, but they're going to turn into something substantial, right? That the doors of opportunity are going to find you and are going to open up. And that these small steps that you're taking now are going to lead to big accomplishments down the road, right? You will be a success story. You'll be something that people talk about one day in the future, like, oh man, Gemini is a perfect example. If you just believe in your dreams against all odds, things can work out for you, right? Or Gemini, they built their company from the bottom up. Or Gemini started out in the gutter and they ended up in the penthouse, and it was all by their hard work and their resilience. It's like you are going to be that success story for people, whether this is your family, your community, people in your industry, whatever. Maybe even on a world level for some of you guys, right? But it does feel like you're going to be that success story, Gemini, because you refuse to give up, and you're taking small steps, one step at a time, trusting the process, and that's what's bringing this growth. Okay, Gemini. So let me see. Hold on. These readings are very much readings where I wing it for these door readings. So we're just not, I don't even think we're going to pull tarot. I think we're going to continue with the oracle, and let's just continue to get information about this door to value. Okay. So what else can you tell us about this door to value that's opening for Gemini? this door to value, Spirit. What else can you tell us? We have mother healing. It says, as your feelings towards your mother heal, your desires manifest more rapidly and accurately. Interesting. So some of you guys could be doing some kind of work here when it comes to your mom. Maybe you didn't have the best relationship with your mom or something like that. Okay, that's not for everybody, but for some of you guys, yeah. And it's like the more that you can heal that relationship, the more that you can maybe forgive, right? It's interesting because I watched a reel the other day and it was talking about if you're really serious about forgiveness, these are the people that you have to forgive. And the first one was your parents. And it's forgiving, you know, them for what they couldn't offer, for what they couldn't do, what they couldn't give, but accepting them for what they could. You know, because at the end of the day, when, you know, we have parents or we're children, right? We think of our parents sometimes as like superheroes or like people that shouldn't have had kids if they weren't ready to raise them. Shouldn't have, you know, made children if they were going to make mistakes and they weren't going to be set up and they weren't going to be ready. But that's not how life works. So sometimes it's giving people grace and understanding that, you know, we're all kind of doing the best that we can do, you know, at any given moment, and not taking on somebody else's mistakes, taking on somebody's trauma and letting that define your story, letting that, you know, write your story, right? And not holding on to the bitterness, the resentment, and the pains of the past, because those things are like chains that bind you, right? Forgiveness is something that it's liberating. It frees you. It says, this is not something that I have to carry in my heart anymore, and I'm not defined by whatever this was. Now, when I see mother, I think of divine feminine, right? And so divine feminine for me is receptivity, right? Being very receptive to blessings coming in. Some of you have had a hard time receiving or feeling like you were good enough to receive certain things. And so this is something that you're healing, right? That, you know, the energy of not feeling good enough, the energy of not feeling like you do receive things, maybe feeling like things always go bad for you, or you're always losing, or you're always having to work extra hard to achieve anything. It's like you're starting to get into the mindset here of, no, I am deserving of blessings. I am deserving of things, good things coming into my life. And not only am I deserving of them, I expect them to, right? And this is what's really helping open up this door to value. Okay. All right, so let's get some more out here. What do we need to know about this door to value for Gemini gang? This door that's opening to value, what do we need to know? Interesting. Self-forgiveness. And this is why I say, guys, right? This is why I say that, especially for those who are on the spiritual journey, and that's the people, that's my collective, right? Your vibe is your tribe. So just like I'm on this spiritual journey, I know that you guys, most of you, the majority of you are here too. And it starts from within. Our journey starts from within. It's not enough to just go to work and work really hard and then you'll have success. No, your success is built from the inside out. You have to do the work. You have to heal yourself. You have to work on your traumas. You have to allow yourself to let go and allow yourself to forgive, right? And the more that we work on ourselves and heal, the more success that's brought into our life. And I know that doesn't feel like it makes sense, but that's exactly what it is. And I've seen this over and over and over again in the readings. So I know that it's true. Self-forgiveness. Let go of old guilt and remember that you are God's perfect child, right? So I feel like some of you guys might be carrying some guilt or carrying some, you know, regret in regards to certain choices that you've made, especially if this, in regards to anything. But the door to value, again, we normally think of money, but the door to value can be anything. It can be how valuable you feel you are. And so if you've made a lot of mistakes in your life, whether it's connected to money or not, you feel like you fucked up a lot, basically, you know, it can really dim your light and you're not shining as bright as you could be. Spirit is asking you to let go of the guilt and let go of the thoughts and the mindsets that are no longer serving you, right? Make amends where you can make amends, do the best where you can do the best, change where you can change, grow where you can grow. But don't be so critical on yourself and don't punish yourself for mistakes that you've made from the past, Gemini, okay? So there's something here about that. Like there's a lot of healing and forgiveness and self-forgiveness and freedom, liberation that's coming through when it comes to this door to value, okay? Anything else from this deck before we move forward? Anything else from this deck? We have watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire and not what you fear. And we actually see this with the manifesting, the surrender to receive card that we saw, and the magnetism through gratitude, right? Again, I'm not saying that your thoughts are the only thing responsible for your reality, but if you're looking for the good, you're going to find the good, and if you're looking for the bad, you're going to find the bad, right? It's having that scrutinizing eye or having a pessimistic mindset. So Spirit doesn't want you to think about the things that you fear, right? Spirit doesn't want you to think about things that could go wrong, or the failure that you've already had, or the rejection that you've already received, or the ways that you felt like you weren't worthy, right? What's going to open up this door to value for you, Gemini, is believing in yourself and believing that you're worthy of these things, right? So it's interesting because we see her and she's looking at this mirror, and it's making me feel like a lot of your reality is being reflected back to you right now. So watch your thoughts, you know. Anything else from this deck before we put it up, Spirit? Anything else from this deck before we put it up? We have You're Being Helped, okay? So it says, heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see the results yet. That's very much giving the energy of like small steps, big accomplishments. So I feel like Spirit wants you to know that you're not on your own here either. Like, you're not doing everything alone. Even if you are physically in your life alone and you don't have anybody to depend on, like you don't have family, you don't have a lot of friends, you don't have a big support system or anything like that, Gemini, I feel like Spirit wants you to know that you're not actually alone. You have a lot of spiritual support. I don't know why they're giving me this example, but for some reason they're giving me the energy of like somebody who has like, you know, such community support, and you know, you go on their Facebook and they got like 1,000 friends and all this stuff, and everybody knows them and everybody's just like there for them, and they have big birthday parties and big barbecues and all that. And if you were to look at their actual spiritual support, there's like 2-3 beings that are with them. But then you, who doesn't really have anything, and maybe you spend your holidays alone, and you know, you have to suffer alone, suffer in silence, go through your shit on your own. If you were to see your spiritual support, there's not enough room in your house. There's not enough room in your world, in your neighborhood, in your community for how much spiritual support you have. It's like legions, right? Like you have a lot of spiritual support, more than a lot of other people have. And it's not a game, you know, comparison. It's not a competition, but I'm just saying you do, right? And so if we can kind of look past that and look at the spiritual support that we have, you know, you're going to see, Gemini, that you're being helped, you know? That Spirit, the divine, you know, whatever you want to say, is working behind the scenes to help you. So you're going to see the results really soon, is the energy that I'm getting. Yes, I split the deck on have faith. Your prayers and manifestations, okay, are working. Remain positive and follow your guidance. So yeah, it's just very interesting. Okay, let's get some birds. Get some birds for this door to value here for Gemini gang. Birds, please. What messages do we have? We have the blue jay. The time is right to access and master your abilities, so do so with humility and control. So Spirit wants you to keep working on your craft, keep working on your trade, keep getting better day by day. Do what you need to do to strengthen that energy and to keep continuing to work on the things that you feel like you're meant to work on, right? Because this is the right time. This is the right time for you to access and master these abilities. What else do we have here for this door to value for Gemini? Oh, okay, we're going to take both of these. We have the Oriole. It says, a new creative venture is on the horizon. See it as a positive change. Ooh, interesting. So yeah, there is something new that's coming into your life with this door to value. And I was feeling like that with the face the fear, it's like giving the energy of a new opportunity or something new that's coming in. And again, I always say, if Spirit has to tell us, see it as a positive change, that's usually because we're looking at it like it's not, or we're unsure of it. We're a little apprehensive, like, I don't know if I can do that or if I'm cut out for that, right? And also the fact that the Oriole has orange, it makes me think of the sacral, which is our confidence. And so maybe your confidence is being a little bit tested here in regards to this opportunity, but Spirit is asking you to see this as a very positive change and to know that you have everything that you need. In fact, you're very skilled. you have some kind of ability that you are mastering. So believe in yourself, because whoever this is or whoever these people are that's offering this new opportunity to you, they believe in you. Right? So you got to believe in you too. We also have the hummingbird, which is so interesting because we just saw you are being helped, and that talks about, you know, people, beings on the other side helping you out. We also have mother healing out here, and for me personally, the hummingbird is a sign from my mom. So yeah, you could have a lot of passed on loved ones that are looking out for you right now, Gemini. Again, you have a lot of spiritual support, especially as you're walking through this door to value. It says release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. Yeah, you know, like release the heaviness that you've been carrying, because I feel like that's what's ready to transform out of your life, you know. It's also interesting because we have the duck on the bottom of the deck, and it's find comfort and balance in the simple ways. You have support all around you. Again, that support coming through. But also what I kind of get with the duck is like the energy of like, you don't have to do too much. You don't have to do the most, Gemini. So if you've been going above and beyond, or you've been stressing, or there's been a lot of drama, a lot of toxicity in your life, it's like find comfort in the simple ways. And don't, you know, don't feel like you have to bend over backwards or go above and beyond. And also don't, you know, accept drama and toxicity for the sake of whatever, whether it's love, family, friends, work, whatever. Like, you can find balance in the simple ways. Okay. All right. Last deck, we're going to use the Green Witch Oracle, one of my favorites. So advice and additional messages. Okay. Final messages for this door to value for Gemini. This door to value. We have the walking staff. This is so freaking, like, you cannot make it up. Okay. It says support and encouragement, and for me this card talks about the ancestors. Okay, so again, you have a lot of support from the other side, and actually some of that is going to start translating over to the physical. Like, if you feel like you're alone right now, you won't be for long. Or if you feel like nobody sees the vision here, nobody's, like, you know, investing in what you have to offer or what you have to do, maybe you've pitched ideas or something like that, that's actually about to change. Gemini, I feel like there's something here where you are going to start seeing more support and encouragement. Okay, the more you start to believe in yourself. Yeah, chamomile, maybe some tea is necessary. Have some tea, relax, maybe take a nice bath, get some sleep, right? I feel like y'all have been working hard. I don't know why I'm getting that energy, but I feel like some of y'all have been working hard, okay? And it has been a rough one. Spirit's just like waiting for you to exhale here. What else do we have here? We have the Preserve, one of the favorite cards of this deck. It loves to come out. Preserve, security, forethought, and thrift. Okay, I don't know why I'm seeing little nugs of green here. I never really saw that before with this card, but for some reason I am right now. So some of y'all just need to just, you know, chill and maybe smoke one if that's what you do, if that resonates for you. If not, okay. Or maybe there's an energy of conserving, because I don't smoke, right? Y'all, most of y'all know that. But back when I did, what, over a year ago, that crap is expensive. Like that, it's, you know, it's not cheap. So some of you guys might be preserving some of that, or saving. I don't know. That's for somebody. Okay, that's not for everybody. But yeah, I feel like your security is something that's being preserved here, right? Like, some of you guys have been saving, and you've been being very thrifty, and, you know, being very cautious of your spending, and this is doing you good. So you're going to have more than most, or you're going to be doing better than some people that are in the same situations, communities, whatever, as you. Sad to say, but it's true. But that's because of, you know, your own forethought here, your own resourcefulness. What else do we have here for Gemini when it comes to this door to value? We have, I don't know if this is hearth or hearth. I don't know how to pronounce that. Safety, comfort, and spiritual connection. Again, there's a lot of energy here about you being very spiritually connected. Okay, and it's giving the ancestors here. It just really is. Some of you guys might have one of those silhouette pictures in your house or something. Okay, and so yeah, Spirit is saying that, you know, you're safe, and it's okay to allow yourself to feel comfort. It's okay for you to allow yourself to just breathe. Oh Lord, my tongue is not working. Okay, what else do we have here for Gemini gang? This door to value. Let's get one more. We can have 3, so that's 6 even. Oh, okay, I guess 2 more. Well, whatever. So we have the B, community, cooperation, and sweetness. Yeah, I do feel like there is this energy here of, you know, finding cooperation and finding community, right? Getting that support on the physical like you already have on the spiritual. And again, there's encouragement coming through, or people that want to collab with you, they want to work with you, they see the vision of what you're working on, or they believe in what you're working on. So collabs, opportunities, things like that. We have the mortal and pestle, and it says integration, subdability, I don't know how to pronounce that, and thoroughness. I feel like you are very thorough and you're integrating a lot of the lessons, and because of that, it's almost becoming a part of your wisdom. So this is helping you learn, it's helping you grow. We also have fruit, achievement, and success. One of my favorite cards. The fruits of your labor, okay, is going to be paying off. So you will have a very abundant tree, foundation, security, what have you. And then we have the broom, energy, clearing, and freshening. Yeah, it's like Spirit's saying to allow yourself to clear your energy, allow yourself to freshen your energy. You are very much going to be taken care of, and you are going to see achievement and success and value as you walk through this door to value. You're also going to see more encouragement and support from your peers, or from, you know, maybe just, again, clients, your co-workers, things like that. Okay, all right, Gemini, that has been your reading. I hope it helps, hope it resonates, hope it does something, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Bye.